inside the PFL Smart Cage with the GWOAT herself, greatest woman of all time, and now a star and undefeated in 2 combat sports. Claressa Shields, put into words how you feel right now after a successful MMA debut.
I feel like I am dreaming. This is crazy. You know, after doing the 7 months of training at Jackson Lee Gym, I kept asking myself, like, what is the pro debut gonna feel like? And I kept telling myself, it's gonna be hard. Because it's a whole different realm, like it's gonna be hard, and do not expect the easy win. Every time I sat down in the corner, I said, dang, I lost another round. And I said, you know what, we're gonna go out there and win the 2nd round. Came out again, lost 2nd round. Came out 3rd round, coach said, do not get taken down. But it was like she had me on the ground, but she never could hurt me. None of her punches hurt me. Her trying to give me an arm bars didn't hurt me. Nothing. And when I tell you that 3rd round came, I said, I'm about to just dog her. And I went crazy. I went crazy after that.
I saw it.
I am not losing. I may have lost this 2 rounds, but I'm not losing this fight. Coach said in the corner, he said, Claressa, go out there and get TKO. I want to see Claressa. And when he said that, Claressa just came out. It was over.
Look, I've seen a lot of MMA debuts, and when somebody gets mounted, especially a striker, right, there's panic, and then conditioning comes into question. You remain composed. You went back to the corner every time. You were in shape. You came out fresh.
Always in shape. I train my butt off. Like, I haven't seen my boyfriend in 4 weeks. I haven't seen my mom in almost 2 months. When I was at Jackson Lee training, I was at the gym 5 times a day. We worked on getting up off the cage, and I tried. But Brittney was so freaking experienced and everything. But it was like, I just don't have to let her hurt me. She was trying to ground and pound me. I remember coach said, bridge her and don't let her punch you in the face.
And you know what? You didn't let her hurt you. Let's take a look at your handiwork here, up here on the monitor. Let's look at the finish here. Walk me through what you're thinking.
That's the hips, right? Coach always say, get your hips down, get your hips to the ground. And I just seen like she didn't like how she was getting hit, and she started folding. I was like, I'm not letting her up. Because coach kept saying, when you get on the ground, let her up. I'm like, I'm not letting her up. And then she turned toward me. I pushed my hips down again and kept hitting her, and then it was over.
Feels even better in boxing?
Huh?
Feels even better than a win in boxing?
Listen, I never doubted myself winning a boxing match in my life. MMA is something I was like, it's possible I could lose this first fight. I don't want to lose, but I'm like, I'm going to try dang hard not to lose. And that's all I did. I just had a never quit attitude every round. I'm like, whatever you do, I don't care if she gets you in an arm bar. I don't care if she gets you in a triangle. You better not quit. Never give up. And that's what I told myself. Because I heard my coach saying let her up. They were saying let her up. And I just told myself, hell no.
Did not let her up. The right hand keeps coming down. And it's a victory in your MMA debut. Congratulations, Claressa Shields.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Claressa Shields does it. She transitioned over to MMA. And mind you, guys, not against a soft touch. She went in there against a very, very experienced jiu-jitsu fighter. She wins by TKO in the 3rd round. Not only did she win by TKO, but they gave her the knockout of the night. We are watching history in the making right now with Claressa Shields. Never has there been a fighter of Claressa's magnitude, her caliber, to transition over to another combat sport and win their first fight. You see, it's not just the fact she won the fight that makes it so impressive. It's how she won the fight, because she dealt with a tremendous amount of adversity in this fight. Because Brittney Elkin, she took down Claressa Shields and she kept her down for the first 2 rounds. And she had Claressa in all of the worst positions you can be in when it comes to MMA. She mounted her on the top. And you see, most MMA fighters, I'm talking about experienced MMA fighters, they panic when they're in that position where someone has top mount and they're just raining down punches. But Claressa Shields was laying there calm. She was slipping punches while she was on her back. She was punching back. She never really got caught with anything solid. I mean, the whole round, she was in bad positions from full mount to side mount. And after the round, Claressa, she gets up off the ground as if she was the one that was in the best position. I like the adjustments that Claressa made in the second round, because in the first round, she was coming forward and she was trying to land something hard, obviously, but her opponent, Brittney Elkin, was really tall and she kept throwing these like kick feints to keep Claressa Shields honest. But in the second round, Claressa, she started to bounce. She started to get on her toes and box, kind of move around the octagon. And what that did is it kind of pulled Brittney in, which allowed Claressa to get closer to Brittney with her punches. And of course, every time Claressa landed something or came close to landing something, Brittney would try to go for the takedown. But once again, this is why I was so impressed with Claressa, because she knew how to sprawl. So she was really doing good with the takedown defense as well. Matter of fact, Brittney trying to take down Claressa so many times is what got her in trouble, because every time Claressa would defend the takedown, she would immediately start hitting Brittney with those heavy fists. Because when Claressa was on the attack, Brittney wasn't as calm and relaxed as Claressa was when she was in that situation. She was completely panicking, and that's what ended up getting her knocked out, or technically knocked out. So overall, man, this was a huge, huge win by Claressa Shields. Matter of fact, when I was watching this fight, because Claressa was down on the cards in the first 2 rounds, I mean, just based off of the way Claressa, she weathered the storm throughout the fight. I mean, you got to remember, she was in the worst positions you can be in. And she got out of it the way you would think an MMA fighter would get out of it that has been doing this for years. She escaped an armbar. I mean, she had everything thrown at her in her pro debut, right? It's like she answered a lot of questions just in that one fight. Because once again, you've had some boxers transition over, for example, Ray Mercer. You know, Ray Mercer, he went over to MMA and he actually knocked out the former UFC heavyweight champion, Tim Silva. Now, a lot of you guys don't know about this because, of course, the MMA world, they try to bury this because they don't want to be embarrassed about it. But he knocked him out. But in that fight, Ray Mercer wasn't tested. His MMA skills wasn't tested. Tim Silva just had a lot of pride, and he was dumb enough to stand up with a professional boxer, a former heavyweight champion, and that was his demise. But in this case, Claressa Shields, she had to pass every single test in her very first pro debut. She had to learn how to, deal with being on the ground, having her fully mounted and going through arm bars and everything else, being trapped on the cage, everything. And she weathered it. So my point I was going to make is, I said to myself, even if Claressa would have lost this fight, I still thought she would have been a problem because she passed almost every other test. I mean, this is really huge, guys. Can you imagine if Claressa Shields had the complexion for the protection? If she was on that hope list? If she had that hope insurance? Can you guys imagine how much she would be praised right now? I mean, even before this, just her accomplishments in boxing alone. Do you guys know that Claressa Shields, she's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She's a 12-time world champion. She's a 2-time undisputed and 3-division world champion. And she's the fastest person to do it in the history, male or female. And yet, do you guys know that a lot of old media doesn't even have her as pound for pound the best fighter in the world? Claressa Shields is the greatest female boxer of all time. And they don't even have her, some people don't even have her as pound for pound the best fighter in the world. And Jermell Charlo tells Deontay Wilder, race doesn't matter, when they don't even have him on the pound for pound list. But that's for another video I'm working on. But going back to Claressa Shields, no matter how much racism exists in the sport of boxing, they can never take away Claressa Shields' talent or any other fighter on the coincidental list. And this is why I always say, the best way to combat racism is to keep winning, just like Floyd Mayweather did. You can't deny a person if they continue to win, no matter what. And that's what Claressa Shields is doing right now. And guys, I'm telling you right now, from what I've seen in Claressa's very first fight in MMA, in the next 2 to 3 years, I could easily see Claressa winning a world title, a UFC world title, which would be huge. I mean, there's only 2 female athletes that you could possibly argue is the greatest female athlete of all time, and that's Claressa Shields and Simone Biles. But if Claressa Shields wins a world title, wins the real championship belt in the UFC, then we might have to call her the greatest athlete of all time, male or female, because that's how big that accomplishment would be. No one has ever done this before. No one has ever dominated two sports at the same time. And I think Claressa Shields, she has the natural talent to do it. I look forward to seeing her next fight. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.